Yo, what's up, guys and girls? How are ya? Welcome. This is a response. This is a response to Tristan's video from yesterday or the day before, asking, what is it? Don't engage the swallowing muscles while singing is bullshit. Yeah, I want to talk about this because he raised some good issues, some good points, specifically in regards to what are people talking about when they say swallowing muscles. I think it's a misnomer personally. I think, yeah, there are some muscles involved with swallowing that more than likely do not need to be involved when we sing. But I would say more generally, if I'm saying don't engage the swallowing muscles, what I'm really saying is don't use muscles in and around the neck that you don't need to when you sing. This is the primary cause of difficulties for the hard cases. I know this because I was a hard case. I was a struggler. Have a look at this image, yeah? This is just a picture without skin, the muscles in and around your neck. Look at it. There are tons. Now, all those muscles you see there are not required for singing. And with hard cases, they will have tons of that engaging. Now, depending on how hard the case is, depending on how bad the habits are, depending on how inefficient the habits are, you can have, maybe a small cluster or a bunch of those muscles habitually clamping down and inhibiting you from singing in head voice freely. So when we talk about the swallowing muscles, we're just talking really generally in that area. All this junk, you do not need it. And unfortunately for hard cases, they have at some point started to engage these muscles. And once that's become muscle memory and it becomes a reflex, they're locked into it. They can't get around it. They hit a wall. They hit a ceiling. So many singers out there that are struggling hard cases. This is the crux, the core of their problem, is that at some point in their range, when they feel they're hitting that wall, all this stuff starts grabbing, all this junk starts getting involved, and the intrinsic muscles in here start to disengage. And so the singer feels like they're hitting a ceiling. They feel like it's a legit ceiling. They cannot sing any higher than that. But what they don't realize is that the muscles they're trying to use to bring the pitch up freely are the incorrect muscles. Literally, it's like I'm trying to move my arm and I'm grabbing it with my hand, expecting it to move. That's what's happening. Yeah? All those neck muscles are engaging and the right muscles aren't activating as they need to get that free heady sound. Yeah? So that's really what people are trying to get across when they talk about using the wrong muscles, using the swallowing muscles, however you want to describe it. They're talking about all this junk that you don't need. And I do think there's a sense with some singers is that they just don't get this. They don't understand because they weren't a hard case. My argument really is that most singers aren't a hard case. Most singers start with a relatively blank slate. It's only the idiots like myself who went down the wrong path for many years, kept reinforcing bad habits over and over again without any conscious thought, just over and over. And then when we decided to learn to sing, we had all this cement muscle memory, just grabbing reflex. Oh my God, I want to kill myself type wall. I think some people struggle to really understand this because they just haven't been through it. When I try and get it across to people, I get this kind of like puzzled look sometimes of, yeah, it just sounds like you're making this up. This can't be real. But it's real, man. It's definitely real. I know this because I did it. Because I did the shit. I went through the crap. Let's just focus briefly, and we'll get a couple of little clips up because I want to show you. So keep in mind the neck muscles, which is all of this junk here. Yeah, all of this stuff we don't want to be using. Now, this is really the most basic principle of good technique. All the stuff that I talk about is inside of that junk, inside of all those muscles, what are we trying to discover? From a technical perspective, I'm not talking about style, I'm not talking about artistry, I'm not talking about musicianship. I'm just talking about using your voice in an efficient way, which is the objective part of technique. We're trying to discover small muscle groups in here. Have a look at this video briefly. Yeah, we're trying to discover this tilting mechanism that stretches the chords and gets us to higher pitches without pulling, without feeling weight. And that's just this is a very good example because it's purely functional. Yeah, you can see the mechanism working. This is how it works inside your throat. You've got to discover these tiny muscle groups. Yeah, that's the bird's eye view of the tilt. You can see the vocal cords stretching and then fattening up again. Now, the other one we've got is the closure muscles, which we'll see here working. The arytenoid muscles. And again, I'm talking broadly here. There are other things involved, but broadly speaking, we're looking for engage these closure muscles as well. And you can see that action working, and we'll see it from bird's eye view in a second. So essentially what we're trying to figure out is, once we get rid of all that junk, once we get rid of all that other stuff, the way we do that is we isolate the correct muscles here. We try and discover these tiny muscles attached to the vocal folds and attached to the larynx. And we have to start working and engaging them and valuing what they give us. As we engage those tiny muscles, these will start to let go. Yeah? The swallowing muscles, all that stuff. We're trying to let go of all this stuff. The way we do that is we engage those correct muscles, those tiny ones I just showed you. And that's really the bedrock of technique. That's the bedrock of efficient singing. That's the bedrock of understanding your voice from a functional mechanical perspective. All the other stuff, artistry, style, musicianship, is key, obviously. Otherwise, you would just be learning to be a robot. But for singers that I look at, for singers that I teach and train, this is the stuff I'm going through, because they're typically hard cases. They're typically students who, you know, they've got to put their thumbs under here. They've got to monitor this, because as soon as they go up in pitch, it grabs. And these, the ones we want, start to disengage, and they hit that gross wall that some of you are familiar with. Because that's all I'm really doing. Yeah? I am finding... I'm finding that tilt. I'm combining that with a certain amount of arytenoid closure. Yeah, and then I have some singing. I have release. I have closure. That's all I talk about on here, man. That's what I talk about because it makes sense. And that's it, really, guys. So please give this video a thumbs up. Please comment. Please tell me what you guys think. Have you experienced this? Tell me if you've experienced the outer muscles grabbing, if you've experienced the wall I'm talking about, the glass ceiling that feels real when you're in it. Feels like literally there's no way around it, a brick wall. Tell me all about it, and I'll see you in another video. Bye. Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you want my help personally, you can book a one-on-one training session. Drop me a message. My email is in the description. And if you feel like this message was of value, then please feel free to make a donation equal to that value. Again, donation link is in the description. And finally, please share this video with other singers you know. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in another video. Bye.